Today we're talking about Radiance of the Seas. We spent 7 days on board, so we have some things we'd like to show you and tell you about the things we liked and the things that we didn't necessarily love. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Marshall.
Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, either way. Hope you've subscribed already, but let's dig in.
Yes, and we'll start at the very top front of the ship. On Radiance of the Seas, you have plenty of space to relax, get some elbow room on lounge chairs on 3 levels in the front of the ship. And sometimes it's just a staircase that is off to the side, but I suggest that you go to the front of the ship, go up, go down, and you may find that place to catch some rays, read a book, and relax away from the noise and the crowds of the pool deck.
The second thing we really liked was the outdoor seating at the Windjammer, and maybe it's from living in Florida, but we love to eat outside. So love it when the Windjammer, it does include outdoor seating options. It's usually, on the back of the ship, you get the aft view with the wake of the ship, what I call the tail feathers of the ship, and to just enjoy the weather. You're on a cruise ship, you should look out at the ocean while you eat your food.
Our first dislike, we're talking about plenty of room in the back and the front of the ship. Felt like the middle of the ship, that pool deck, was crowded and there wasn't a whole lot of room. So I just want to say a slight thumbs down to the size of the pool deck.
Yeah, felt tight.
Yeah, we're in agreement. The Quill and Compass English pub was alike. I think we're always a fan of a venue, a bar that goes from one side to the other, where you feel like it's the full width of the ship. It just has a nice feel, and it's not like a hallway. So thumbs up to the Quill and the Compass. Definitely recommend that you check it out if you're on the ship.
And they do have live music there, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Our next like is the Centrum. It's just a beautiful heart of the ship. Every time I was there, I couldn't help but just look up at all the levels of just beautiful glass and lights and people enjoying the space. I just really love the Centrum.
I totally agree with the Centrum. I just wish there was some more seating for the events that they had. Now you can overlook as you're going up each deck to look down, but if you want to be right there on the same floor, the seating is limited.
One of the previous ships we were on, the Windjammer, felt really tight to go around and collect your food. This buffet, the Windjammer, was very spacious. It felt like you had enough room without feeling like you're gonna bump into a railing or whatever. So I really liked how the Windjammer was laid out.
Okay. That coupled with the outdoor space, I think the whole Windjammer experience is maybe my favorite across the different classes of ships. This is a like that pretty much makes all of our lists, but again, I just have to call out the production shows on Radiance. It was just tremendous. The talent and the performances, top notch, and definitely 2 thumbs up, 2 likes.
Of course, the Royal Caribbean singers and dancers and orchestra can't be on every single night, so they do bring in headliners to do different types of shows. One of the ones that we just don't love, the jugglers and maybe even sometimes the comedians. I try to like, it's just not a favorite. Yeah. I just love this music, I guess that's my thing.
Yeah, my thing too. It's just subjective. We understand that. But for us, the entertainment value, jugglers, comedians is here. And we just love when they get some singing, dancing acts. It's just there automatically. Yeah. We last left the bars with the English pub, the Quill and the Compass, and we're going to go right to another like, the Schooner Bar. It's huge compared to some other Schooner Bar setups, and it's definitely another like. It's relaxed, and also the views, full-size windows, the length of the bar. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love going to like an actual destination, and that's what that place felt like.
Yes, and add in all the decor where they have full size model ships, various vintages. It's very nautical. They did a great job.
I have to say, I think the Radiance class ships might be becoming one of my favorites. Still, I think Odyssey's my favorite,
Yeah.
but I'm really loving the Radiance class ships because of the smaller size. There's like 2,800 passengers, and that's when it's at max capacity. I really like the smaller size. Doesn't feel like you have to walk a mile to get to wherever you're going. And I don't know, it just has like a cozier feel, I guess.
I haven't ever seen a ratio of elevators to people, but at least those forward elevator banks on Radiance, I don't want to use the word empty, but half the time we were on by ourselves. And that does not happen on other ships. So it's like the perfect size. It really is.
Yeah.
So Radiance of the Seas has a doghouse, a hot dog place on the pool deck. That's fairly unusual for that size ship, and it was enjoyable to see, and it was definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah, so they had hot dogs, they had bratwurst. They didn't have veggie option, which we would have enjoyed. So we couldn't make use of the doghouse, but it was kind of a surprise to see that.
Yeah, even if you don't want to have a hot dog, they also have sides. So if you're not into the hot dogs, definitely check it out to see if for a small little side while you're, at the pool deck, if you want to have, I think they had potato salad, coleslaw, they may have some other ones. So it's just not hot dogs, and you don't have to go anywhere. You just a couple steps off the pool deck and you can get something to eat.
There are a lot of reasons why we wouldn't go to the Samba Grill. It's a Brazilian steakhouse, so I'm assuming there would be limited options for us. But if you are interested, you should know that you need to go outside to get to the Samba Grill. So not exactly easy access.
Yeah, I mean, I tried. I wound up in the tots area of the nursery. So let us know if you have some secret way of getting to the Samba Grill, but it seemed to be outside. So just be aware of the weather if it's raining, that you may have to have an umbrella or something to get there. If you've been watching this channel, then you know I'm personally a sucker for those outside promenades that go all the way around the ship. And this ship had a perfect one. I loved it. You get laps in, you clear your mind, be outside. It's wonderful. And with that, at the front of the ship, you have easy access to the helipad, so you can have your Titanic moment in the front of the ship. It's just additional bonus outside space that we love.
The other thing that we liked was how the sports area was set up and oriented. There was an actual basketball court, and you could walk around that. And then there was like kids stuff or adult stuff, I guess. There was the mini golf, and everything was sort of seamlessly like, if you want to do sports and game type stuff, it was all in that same general area, which I thought was laid out well.
Yeah, all that teen stuff, the carcade, it blended very nicely in the back of the ship. So this is a like specifically for Radiance of the Seas and not the other Radiance class ships. On this ship, they've kept the original public spaces on the Centrum as you go all the way up the decks. So it was just nice to have spaces to breathe and relax on each of those decks.
It was kind of nice to be able to go up each level, look down at the Centrum, and to have something unique on each of those floors. And, I spent some time working there too, actually.
Yes, you did. It was kind of fun for me to go out and look up and down and see which one of those areas you were working at.
Since we love music, let me just say that there were pianos everywhere. I swear they had 4 or 5 of those black baby grand pianos, because we'd walk past, like in the dining room, there was one, which they did play, I think, 2 of the 7 nights. And then we go walk to the Schooner Bar, and there was another one. And then obviously there was one in the theater. And then there was also one in the Centrum. So there were at least 4 that I know of.
All in use.
all in use. I respect and enjoy a pianist who's very good at what they do.
That Centrum piano, when they play, it fills up the whole ship with music. It's really awesome. I mentioned earlier about the size of the pool deck. That may have had something to do with it, but I'm going to give a second dislike. Seemed like the chair hogs were out in full force. And with smaller space, it was really a problem. So there were plenty of chairs that were empty but had towels and other items all day long. So it was a little tight.
It is frustrating when you go down with the book and you just want to sit and read or something and actually use the chair, and to see dozens of empty chairs all day long with just a towel on them or something. And there's signs up that say not to do that, but it's not really enforced. Okay. So one of our other likes, which was actually a surprise for me, was there's an actual cinema, like movie theater. And they would show 2 or 3 different movies a day, I think. And I just think it's such a great idea, especially if you're taking a cruise. The Radiance class ships, go to Alaska, they go to the fjords and other maybe colder weather places. So I think that would be just a great way to spend an afternoon on board.
The Park Café. We were introduced to that actually on the Oasis class ships, and I thought that was unique to them. And then when we started going on Radiance class ships and Radiance of the Seas, we realized in the solarium they have a food area that's called the Park Café. Not quite as extensive, but really a nice alternative to the Windjammer that can get crowded. It was never crowded when we wanted to get a small bite to eat in the solarium. So it was a big like for us.
Yeah, so there were like 3 different times of the day where they had food. They had breakfast, and then it was open 1 to 6 they had salads and sandwiches and pizza, I believe. And then also in the evening into the late night, they had bites also.
It was pretty easy to come up with 20 likes and dislikes, with most of them being likes. But we would be curious to know if you had your own likes or dislikes. Throw it in the comments. We'll make sure we'll respond, and we'd be curious about what you're thinking.
Thanks for watching.
All right. Take care.